Hi, Gold Group. For today, on Wednesday, your remote lesson, I'm going to have you do what we were going to be doing in class on Tuesday. So there's two different videos I'm going to have you watch. This first one is going through the warm-up, which is solving two-step equations. I'm going to go through a couple together and then have you do them and have you check your answers. And then we'll have you watch another video which will be going through the lesson on comparing two different functions. Okay, so go ahead and open this warm-up up on your screen, and I'm going to go through the first problem with you. Feel free to either do split screen so you can see what I'm doing and type, or you can pause this video and go back and complete each one and then come back to the video. All right, so for the first example, it's 13 equals 2x minus 7. So the goal is to get x by itself. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of this negative 7. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is do the opposite, that inverse operation. So we're going to add 7 on both sides. So plus 7 plus 7. You want to make sure that 1 is on either side of that where the equal sign would be. And then you're going to solve both sides. So 13 plus 7 on the left is 20. And on the right side, that minus 7 plus 7 cancels each other out. All we're left with is the 2x. So we really want to try to make sure that equal sign is right underneath each other. So if you need to change that spacing or the format, feel free to do so. So all we're left with in that step now, after we've done that inverse operation, is 20 equals 2x. So now we have our x right here. We need to get rid of that times 2. So the inverse operation of times 2 is divided by 2. So we're going to divide both sides by 2 because we have to do the same thing on both sides of the equation. Oops. So we're going to divide by 2 on the left and divide by 2 on the right. So all we're left with when we're done, 20 divided by 2 is 10. And 2x divided by 2, all we're left with is our x. So 10 equals x is our final answer. So I'm going to highlight that. I would circle it if I was in class. Highlighting it is fine here. We do not need to have a label on it because it's not a word problem. We're just solving for x. Okay, I'll go ahead and pause this video and I want you to go ahead and solve this next problem. Doing the same things. Getting x by itself. Be careful of that minus 4x that you see right here. All right, so go ahead and pause, and then when you unpause, I'll go through and I'll solve it myself. All right, hopefully you've had time to solve this second problem. I have it up on my screen now. The answer should be x equals negative 4. So go ahead and check your work. A big mistake that I've seen is people forget about this negative 4 here because we had a minus 4 up here. So make sure you have negative 4x equals 16, and then you're dividing by negative 4 on both sides. Okay, let's scroll down to the bottom then for finishing the table. So we have our equation, y equals 7x minus 10. Now we're going to plug in a negative 2 for our x and see what the y would be. And then the next problem, we're going to plug in the y of 4 and find out what the x is. So we're going to first start with our equation. For that first example, we are going to just plug negative 2 in for x. So everything else stays exactly the same. And then all we're doing is we have to use our order of operations on the right side to solve for y. So we have multiplication and subtraction. In order of operations, the multiplication comes first. So 7 times negative 2 is negative 14 minus 10. So then I just have to solve negative 14 minus 10. Feel free to use your calculator on any of these. Negative 14 minus 10 is negative 24. If you're doing it in your head, you'd add the opposite. So this would be a plus and then a negative 10. Or type it in your calculator and you'd get negative 24. So that is our final answer for the first one. So I can now go up and plug if x is negative 2, y would have to be negative 24. So that is my new answer that I am going to be plugging in the table. Okay, underneath this, I want you to go ahead and do the same equation, but this time plug a 4 in for the y and see what your x is. So go ahead and pause the video right now, go ahead and solve that, and then unpause it when you're done, and we'll check the answer real quick. Okay, I went ahead and typed in that equation, plugged in the 4 for the y. This is just like that example up above, so you have to do some inverse operations to get that x all by itself. So when you're done, you'd get 2 equals x, and then go ahead back up into your table and plug a 2 into your table. So when y is 4, x is 2. All right, great job. Do a quick check. Make sure the first 2 questions are correct with all your nice work shown. And then here's the work for the first part of the table and the second part of the table. All right, so when you are done with this, go ahead and you can X out of this tab, go back to Google Classroom, click on the other attachment that's comparing two attractions. I believe that you click on the link that says intersecting linear models and systems, so it looks like this. And then I will have a different video that walks you through this. All right.